Hey guys, it's Vimo with you. Welcome to my new display of Puyo Fever. No, not Jack Free. You see, the thing is, I record Jack Free about 15 minutes into recording. The game did something we won't read. So, I tried replaying through the tutorial section again, it just didn't seem to load. So instead I need a Let's Play that's short, quick, and won't end and won't last to the end of April. Won't last to the beginning of April, so this game's short, this game's fun, and this game is Have Some Fun Died! Woo! So yeah, so this is personally one of my favourite games. If I had the top 10, this would be in it. So we have options here, which is the most pointless thing of all. Difficulty, let's just set this to normal for recording's sake. Cutscene, animations, 3D effect. Yeah. I would have looks like 2D, but I won't know because I never really did that. So we have single player mode, which is the main mode, and we have endless. I'll be showing off everything except for 2-player. Because, well, that's just pointless. So yeah. In case you guys don't know what this is, if you guys know Mean Bean Machine, don't know about Mean Bean Machine, this is pretty much the same game, except it actually has its name. This is pretty much the only Puyo Pop game that actually keep its name overseas, and one of only 2 Puyo Pop games that actually make it past Japan in the first place. So,
once upon a time, in some other world, there lived a young girl whose dream was to become a wonderfully clever magic user. Her name is Amity, and she is at her studies again today.
So yeah.
Hello, kitties. It's another magical morning. Good morning. First, let's kick off today by reviewing the fever mode. As I mentioned yesterday, in fever mode, a ready-made puyo chain will be dropped. These puyo chains are there so you can start using them to make chain reactions. In order to go into fever mode, you must offset each other. By offsetting, the fever count increases. When the count is full, fever mode begins. So making your opponent attack and aiming for an offset strategy is one way to play the game. And that's that. Any questions so far? I think I understand. Okay, then try practicing with the person sitting next to you. I'm ready.
So yeah, this is a pretty rare series to find overseas, but this is a pretty fun game. So how this game controls is a lot like Mean Bean Machine. You can press A or B to pretty much rotate the thing. What you have to do is pretty much make the lines go to these 2 squares. The other opponent's attacks go, the opponent's Puyo go into the thing. Once one Puyo touches the red square, it's over. As long as the chain doesn't set them free, the game will be over. So you have to combine these groups of Puyo, which are adorable, into groups of 4. They always drop in 2s, 3s, or 4s, so you won't find any 1s. And each time you make a combo, you set, yeah, you can switch them around with A and B. And pretty much, you can make chains. So what I'm trying to do now is make a chain. Chains create nuisance Puyo, which is pretty much how you beat the game. It really is. They're like the main way of doing attacks. But you see how I have a chain? Chains make these things fall. Now, as the cutscene was telling, you can go into fever mode. Pretty much how you go into fever mode is you see that line here, which is covered up by the thing. Do you want to save? There's a line in the middle of the screen. If you max it out, you go into fever mode. The only way you get fever lined, you can read the subtitles. Pretty much all you have to do is let them do a chain. Nuisance Puyo won't drop as long as you can make a group of 4. If you can't make a group of 4, the set nuisance falls. So pretty much you have to let your opponent get there, and you have to pretty much counterattack with making them. So yeah, and chains increase. There are a lot of Puyos, and let me tell you, the second you start getting... Yeah, pretty much just cutscene explaining what I just said. You can either go full offense, but that is a real way of kicking you in the backside. Because fever mode is pretty much the main game. It's pretty much really how you win it. Is pretty much how you really win it. Fever mode is, you pretty much have set chains, and you make a lot of Puyo. But once you start the chain going, it doesn't stop. You see here, this line there, that's your fever gauge. But here's the thing, it's not a set amount of things. Your fever has a time limit. Your time limit increases each time your opponent gets a segment of their fever thing filled. So, see look, I got my chain going, he's getting more seconds on his time. And yeah, that's... But of course, because I'm on a beginning session, I don't think I'll be able to show off fever mode. And here's the chain, because... Yay! And this game is fully voice acted, which is as good as bad as I'll let you decide. But this is pretty much the beginning mode. Pretty much tells you how to beat the game, even though the cutscenes don't do themselves a very good job of telling you how to do it. It does a good enough job to teach you how to play. Which in the beginning cutscene, if you wait around in the menu a little bit and start opening menu, you will get the tutorial, which is good enough. So I'm pretty much showing you how to play. There are times you get groups of 4, and you can't twist those around since they're pretty much set chains. And you see I've got fever mode, which isn't going to mean anything, but this is what it does. Which is pretty much that does. Which is bugging us all out.
Teacher, I think I've got the hang of this. That's good to hear, young lady. Then, I guess it's test time. What? A test? What would learning be without exams? After all, applied knowledge is acquired knowledge.
Also, this is the best school ever. You just play Puyo Pop all the time! Yeah. And here we have another colour. So this is pretty much the only time in the main campaign you fight against your teacher in any modes, except for like the multiplayer and the free battle mode, which is the multiplayer except if you're a loner. So I need a way here, and I have one here. And that makes it. Yeah, the only time you actually fight against Miss Athena, all these have names. I think the main character of this game is Amity, the one playing as right now. But there are more. We also have fuck on Lego in this game. In theory, yes, but actually no. So if you manage to clear all of the Puyo in the chain, in the fever mode, you get auto clear, which adds more time. This won't be apparent to you because you pretty much The way to get all clears in fever mode is to not
I got the better of you, teacher.
is not do the how do I put this?
Nice job. Okay then.
Your net.
Test will be.
There will be a random puyo that won't fall into chain, and that puyo will not give you the all clear. To get an all clear, you pretty much have to include that puyo in the chain. See where I'm coming from? And we have a score, which is awesome. Can I just put end? SNC. We got Wid, we got Pop, we got Tar, we got Echo, and we got Zoom. Well, I pretty much beat it for the first episode. Pretty much taught you how to play the game, so from this point on I won't really tell you how to play the game. See you guys next time for Round 2, where we take on where the game actually starts. The Waka Waka Horse. Waka 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 Waka. You have 8 stages. Yeah.